Is that we make sure that we're not just emphasizing the physical in what we share with them about healthy sexuality, that it's not just all about the body, that we address the emotional side of it, the spiritual side of it, the relational side of it, the social piece where, how do we treat people? Are we honest? Can we be someone who's trusted with our own feelings as well as someone else's feelings? Are we kind? Are we the type of people that are learning to respect other people's feelings and needs? All of those things can comprise healthy sexual teaching of healthy sexuality. And I think too often we limit it, we define it so narrowly and just focus on the body and the physical aspects of sexuality and ignore all these other pieces, which I actually think people are having the most difficulty with in navigating and learning because so little is focused on that.
Let me give you a great example of this. It's an excellent comment. As I work with a lot of our young adults in the church, many of them have the belief that there is a chastity finish line when they get married. And if you can just hold out long enough, and then, whew, I'm married now. I don't ever have to worry about being chaste again, right? Because they've only been taught that chastity is the physical.
Right.
It's just what you do. And the only thing that makes something chaste or unchaste is it before marriage or after marriage? Mm-hmm. And so rather than understanding, no, chastity is a condition of your heart.
Right.
It's not just what you do with your body. If we focus our teaching around sexuality and on chastity, it is more about why we do what we do than just what we do. That prepares our young people for marriage. And I love the tie, because it all ties into marriage. That's another big point I would give. Always tie this to marriage. You can't talk about sexuality and chastity and the purposes of it if you don't talk about it all as a preparation for marriage, so that we come into marriage, and now it's not just that we're married, so now it's okay, but we build the foundation that in our marriage it's for the right reasons. It's why I share this with my spouse and what it means to us in that relationship. There's no finish line to chastity, properly understood, right? Marriage is the beginning of chastity in many ways, not the end. But if all they believe is that chastity is abstinence, that statement doesn't even make sense. It sounds like we're saying, well, abstinence then continues. Of course it doesn't continue in marriage. It's the proper expression of your sexuality. And if you don't have the emotional and the relational, that doesn't even begin to make sense.
Right. Well, I love what you've been saying, that maybe what the world teaches is an emphasis on the body, but what the gospel teaches is something so much different, that it's between the body and the soul. It's meant to be expressed in marriage and ties in with the wonderful doctrine of our plan, of why we're here and the family. I love that. What a great message to help parents try to understand, here's where I can start from. This is maybe my perspective that I need to initially take, that I can gain from the Spirit, from the study of the gospel and the doctrine, and then I can try to help teach my children this. What great comments.
Sometimes also when we emphasize the sacredness and the spiritual part, that if that's understood as saying that we're not supposed to enjoy the senses and sensations and responses of our bodies, right? That can get confusing too. And oh well, how's that? And say no, that's a part of it, and it's proper. The same way that enjoyment we have as we are young and we can run and we can experience our body, right? At the proper ways and in proper parts of life. So key tip would be to start early. Keep your range of sexual very broad, because it is relationships and how you think about other people and how you think about your body. It all needs to be a part of what we envision here.
Yeah, healthy sexual intimacy isn't just sex. In fact, it's so much more.
Right, exactly.
And especially the gospel can guide us in our understanding of why it is so much more and what